Hi Scorpio, this is Tisch Aitken, and this is your monthly report for the month of November. It's your birthday season, so I wish you a very happy birthday. I know it's tough to celebrate during this really challenging time, but nonetheless, I hope you do something to honor your birthday and do something special for yourself. And we begin the month with both Mercury and Mars retrograde. And Mercury initially stationed retrograde in Scorpio on October 13th at 11 degrees and 40 minutes of Scorpio. And it re-entered Libra on October 27th. And on the 1st of November, Mercury squares Saturn in Capricorn. Saturn, the whole Capricorn tail has been in your third house of communication and ideas and thinking. And really it's about restructuring your thinking and how you market yourself, whether you're going back to school or taking classes or teaching, just reframing how you think. And so Saturn squaring Mercury is not easy, but it's a reality check. And then on the 3rd of November, Mercury stations direct at 25 degrees and 54 minutes of Libra. Now on the 6th of November, it squares Saturn again. This time it's direct, giving us that reality check, and also expecting the fact that there probably will be delays because Mercury is newly direct and it's squaring the planet of restriction. So recognizing that there are challenges with that. It's good energy for getting things done, but there are delays. On the 9th of November, Venus, which is transiting in the sign of Libra, in your 12th house of the imagination and spirituality, is forming an opposition to Mars. Now, Mars has been retrograde since September 9th, and it's been retrograde in your house of habits and daily regimen and health and wellness. It's been transiting in that house for you since June 27th. Venus opposite Mars in those houses can bring conflict with work. It can be fiery energy. It can be creative, but it can be a bit of conflict. Later that day, however, or early on the 10th, depending on what time zone you're in, the sun in your sign forms a beautiful trine to Neptune in Pisces. And Neptune is the planet of dreams and imagination, and it's been transiting in your house of romance and creativity since 2011. And that's a really magical aspect. It's very creative and romantic. Good for romance that day, and definitely good for creative endeavors. And on the 10th of November, Mercury actually re-enters Scorpio, where it'll transit until December 1st. So that helps to propel things forward. And on the 13th of, on the 12th of November, Jupiter, which is the luckiest planet, meets up with Pluto, which is the ruler of your sign. And this is the third and final time they meet up. They met up on April 4th and June 30th, both times at 24 degrees of Capricorn, setting off that historical Saturn-Pluto conjunction that changed the world, that occurred on January 12th in your third house of information. But this time around, they're meeting up exactly at 22 degrees. So this gives us some closure, hopefully, with everything going on. Maybe it gives us a plan with moving forward to heal. It's a very healing energy, very transformative, very good for financial endeavors, excellent for doing manifesting and meditation. So you really want to target the 12th of November. Excellent energy for really so many things. And then on the 13th of November, Mars stations direct at 15 degrees and 14 minutes of Aries in your house of habits. And it will be there until January 6th of next year. It's a really good time for you to anchor your goals around your time management and your work habits and your health regime. And, you know, with Saturn and Capricorn, just a little while longer, really committing with hard work and micro steps in those areas. And then let's see, we've got on the 14th of November, the sun in your sign forms a beautiful sextile to both Jupiter and Pluto in Capricorn. And the sun's transiting in your first house of beginnings, forming a good aspect to these planets in your house of communication. Excellent for networking and communicating and just all sorts of brainstorming. And then on the 15th, we have a new moon that takes place in your sign at 12:05 a.m. I believe. It's early in the morning, 23 degrees of Scorpio, and that's in your first house. It's your annual new moon, and it's a time of setting intentions and new beginnings, but it is a tricky new moon because Venus squares Pluto that day on the new moon, and later it squares Jupiter, which expands that energy, and that could involve triangles and power playing. So definitely set intentions, but know that it is a tricky new moon. And then on the 17th of November, we have Mercury in Scorpio forming an opposition to Uranus and Taurus. And Mercury's transiting in your first house, forming an opposition to Uranus in your house of relationships. And that could bring unexpected news around partnerships, or it can be innovative, definitely, because Uranus is very inventive, but it can be surprising and disruptive. And then we have on the 19th of November, Venus in the sign of Libra squares Saturn in your house of information, and that can be challenging and better to work on your own that day. On the 20th of November, Mercury clears its shadow, meaning that it clears the degree it retrograded on October 13th. So now we're moving ahead in an even better way. And then on the 21st of November, the sun exits your sign and enters the sign of Sagittarius, and it'll be transiting in your house of income and money and creativity, where it will be until December 21st. So that's good for finding ways to form new ways of earning income. And Venus exits Libra and enters your sign that same day, and it'll be there until December 15th. It's technically in its detriment in Scorpio, but it's always really magnetic and fun when it's in your own sign. So it's excellent for, fixing up your appearance and socializing and appearing extra magnetic. And then on the 27th of November, Venus in your sign forms an opposition to Uranus in your house of relationships. And that can be unexpected themes around partnerships, can be unexpected breakups, unexpected meetings. Could be fun, expect the unexpected, but know that it's a little, disruptive. And then on the 28th of November, Neptune stations direct at 18 degrees of Pisces, and it's transiting in your house of romance and creativity. It's very romantic, but it's also really foggy energy, and we feel that energy 5 days before and 5 days after. And so information and secrets could be uncovered. Mercury is still transiting in Scorpio, which definitely uncovers hidden information. So that will be very strong energy, and it's 2 days before the lunar eclipse that takes place on November 30th at 4:30 a.m. at 8 degrees and 38 minutes of Gemini. And that's just 1 degree off from the world axis. And that falls in your 8th house of joint resources and finances and wounds and healing. So hopefully that brings some release to some painful issues you've been dealing with, and hopefully it brings some fruition to financial endeavors you've been working on. But it's going to be a big month. We complete it with a lunar eclipse close to the world axis, which means it hits all of us. And at least Mercury and Mars are stationing direct, and we're almost done with the epic of Capricorn, and we're getting ready for the age of Aquarius. I wish you a happy birthday and good luck, Scorpio. Take care.